like we're going to get started. We're going to start with some introductions and going to introduce our panel here. And then we have a lot of information to share with you. So today, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Jennifer Bennett, I'm principal at Lakers Online. And I'm really excited to be a part of this. I know we're learning as teachers and administration. We know you're learning as parents at home, and our students and your children are learning together. And we wanted to give this another opportunity to you to kind of learn now that we've been in it and working in Canvas to kind of fine tune some of those things. So we're really excited to have our panelists here tonight to kind of go through that. And I want to thank Chris Haynes, one of our parents here at Lakers Online, for sharing some frequently asked questions that he's hearing from parents so that we knew tonight we could address some of those concerns. So thank you, Chris. And thank you, Stacy, Amy, and Catherine for being here.
Hi, I'm Stacy Weller, and I'm one of the Deans of Instruction here at Lakers Online.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Law, and I'm the Instructional Technology Coordinator for the district, among other things. Thank you for coming tonight.
Hello, everyone. I am Chris Haynes, the guy behind Lakers Online Parent Facebook group.
And hello, everybody. My name is Amy Quinn. I'm the K-12 Math and Science Coordinator. Being part of teaching and learning, I have helped a lot with the rollout of Canvas. And so I will be one of the facilitators tonight to kind of take you through a few things. And I just want to thank you for joining us. I was thinking back about 6 weeks ago, Rochelle had a webinar and it was all about Canvas. And that was really before all the pages were ready and before we had students in and parents in. And, you know, look at us now. Now we're in and we're going and we're moving forward. So lots of exciting things. And I know that as we go, we have questions. So I'm going to go through a lot of those questions. Some of this information maybe you've heard once before, but now that you're living it and actually in Canvas and your child may be asking you questions or you might be curious about something, it might be a little bit more meaningful for you. So let's get started. So some of the topics that I will be going through tonight, and these topics came from questions that were kind of floating around, not just on the Facebook group, but also through our Canvas help email and different questions that have been coming up with teachers and with admin. So what we're asking is that if you could hold off on asking any more questions in the question and answer, because I'm hoping we're going to get to a lot of those questions. And then what I did was I built in a 5-minute like break. And during those 5 minutes, at that time you can ask questions, or it might be a time you want to try something out, or maybe I said something that you kind of sparked an idea that you wanted to try or write down. So that's coming up. So topics tonight will include helpful resources. Where can you find some of those links and those trouble tickets and that kind of thing? Talking about being a parent observer, really looking at the types of assignments, not just features of Canvas, which we went over last time, but actually more the how-to behind it. So I actually went in and I have a screencast to show you, and I went in as a student and I showed like, where is the submit button? What really is going on this page that, you know, my child should be doing, that kind of thing. Going over different Canvas symbols. You might be seeing a few different pictures of different things. I'm going to explain what those are. Talk a little bit about notifications. Clarifying a little bit about specials, and then talking about grades. So before we get started, I want to tell you not only is my perspective from a curriculum coordinator, but also as a parent, because I have two children, Emily and Tommy, and in Utica schools, they're only virtual. So I know what you are going through, and it's an adjustment to be a parent of a child who is now online and now doing their assignments online and different things. And as we go along, I'll tell you some of my own parent stories that's happening in my own household. So I want to begin with helpful resources. So there was a question about, you know, well, is there a time that we could talk about Canvas or ask the teacher certain questions about navigating their page? or maybe a question we had about when a certain time of the day in our schedule there should be doing something. So I just want to remind everybody that our teachers, Lakers Online, but all teachers have office hours or available times. So if you did need that time, you could connect with them via email and kind of find out when that time is. And it's typically what they do is they have a Zoom link and they'll say, you know, a certain time, 3 to 4 o'clock, and then they're just kind of there waiting. And if somebody has a question, they come on in. So that definitely is going to help with communication between you and your child's teacher. On our West Bloomfield website, I'm going to show you we have a Canvas tab and also where that technology help ticket is. There are some questions about Chromebooks you might have, it's not charging, or there's something going on, which might be a little bit different than a Canvas question. So I'm going to show you both of those. And then Canvas actually has some great help links through Canvas Community. And I'm going to click into those right now. I have them opened up. So this is our district website. And as you can see, we kind of cleaned it up a little bit, changed it around a little. Now Lakers Online, you can find when you click on schools right here is Lakers Online. Up here at the top, we have a Canvas tab. When you click on Canvas, this is where you're going to find different information such as the step-by-step instructions with pictures even about how to be a parent observer, how to sign on. Our past webinar, we'll put this one on also. And then I want to show you where technology is. When you go to departments, you can click on technology. And when you scroll down and you have assistance, make sure you go to families, because this is where the phone number is, the email, or the online ticket for open schools. So if there's something, with a Chromebook or different things like that, that's where that would be. And now I have the Canvas community. I'm on here all the time reading things and rereading them and reading them again. So this table of contents, for example, let's click on something like assignments. When you click on that, these are all the different articles and really step-by-step guides for just assignments. So a lot of times we like to, let parents know about this, because maybe as you go along, something comes up and you're not quite sure. And this would be a great place to really get more information. So we wanted to let you know about both of those. We also put some other guides, and this presentation will be on the website. I'll let you click through those, but even more videos and guides for you. Something common that's happening is sometimes parents might have something on their phone and they're logged in, and then the student Chromebook, they think it's bookmarked, it might not be. So we do recommend that they bookmark once they're in, so it's real easy to navigate, get right back in. But our login, it's HTTPS, and then it's West Bloomfield SD, and it's real important, that's school district. So when you're searching in the parent app or you're searching for that website, you just have to make sure you got that SD for school district. There was a lot of talk about being the parent observer, and I want to just kind of remind you where to find that and where you would type that in. So you can be a parent observer. It's once you get the code one time, then you can observe your child in all their courses. If you have two children, you can put each of their codes in, and you're able to toggle between both of them. So down here is where you would put the pairing code. And to find that, when your child logs in, if they go to account, this is on the left, I'm in the global navigation on the left. If you go to account, then you go to settings. On the right, it'll say pair with observer. And this is what the code looks like. So it's that one-time thing that you're going to put that code in or copy and paste, and you'll be able to be an observer on your child's account. So this again just talks about if you have two children, you would do the plus student, and you can enter that second one. The parent app, this is what it's going to look like when you're searching for it. Canvas Parent. Remember, the school name is West Bloomfield SD. We did play it earlier at our last webinar, and it's here for you if you'd like to view it. All right, so now I want to get into more of like some how-tos. So some questions came up like, what's my child supposed to do on this page or this quiz? What does this mean? When you see this rocket ship, what does that mean? What are some types of tasks and assignments in Canvas? So I'm going to first explain to you what some of these pictures mean, and then I'm going to show you a screencast, and I'm going in as a student. So you can kind of see what I'm doing as the student to kind of navigate through. So this right here, it looks like a page, and it really is a page. So whenever you see this, it's going to be a page. Typically, your child is going to read some information. They might view a Google Doc or click a link, but it's a page. The rocket, what that means is it's a quiz. Sometimes teachers call it an exit ticket, but whenever you see that rocket, you'll know what that is. They're asking for some kind of information from your child. These two speech bubbles, that's a discussion. So they would like the student to participate back and forth in a discussion. This one is kind of like a page with a pencil, and it's the assignment. So assignment, that would be like if there's a Google Doc and the teacher asking each student to have a copy, it would look like that. And then the paperclip is a file. So it could be a file right from the teacher's computer. Maybe they want them to view something. So I'm going to explain these again in the video, but let's take a look. This screencast is going to actually show you what the different types of tasks are in Canvas. So we're going to go in just like we were a student. I want you as parents to kind of have the view that your child would have as they're doing different things. And I want you to understand some of the different types of tasks or features that your child will participate in. So right now I'm going in as a student. And you can tell this is student view because of this like kind of down here at the bottom, stop acting as user. So you can see I'm actually going in as a student. So this is what they would see. I am in module view. Right here on the navigation bar, my options are home, announcements, modules, or Zoom. And then this module is called types of tasks. And this question came up about what do these symbols mean? So this page, it looks like a page, it's actually a page. This, and I'll explain, I'll go into it in just a minute. This is a rocket, and what the rocket means is it's a quiz or an exit ticket, whenever you see that. These kind of like speech bubbles, you'll always know that's some type of discussion. And then this kind of looks like the page, but it has a pencil, and that icon stands for an assignment. And then the paperclip is a file. So we are going to go into each one. I'm going to show you kind of like what the purpose would be and some possible things that your child might need to do when they're in there so you can help them navigate. So first one we're going to go into is a page. This is probably the really the easiest one to navigate through. You'll see sometimes like a heading at the top or a picture, possibly some directions. And then teachers are able to put a video right on the page. So your student might need to press play and actually listen to the directions or the video. If not, they could also have something from like a Google Drive. It could be a PDF, it could be a slideshow, but they need to click this arrow right here to click through the slides, for example. When they're done with that page, then they hit this next button. If it's there for them, they would hit next. If that next button is not there, they would click home. So what we are going to look at now is a quiz. And what the student will actually need to do is click right here, take the quiz when they're ready. This quiz actually, I wanted to show you some different options for the quiz. So this first one, question number one, we're asking, what are your connections to the main character? So what showed up here, this is called the Rich Content Editor. And that means that your child would be able to type. So I started typing. So for example, could, type down here. I could change the color, the size, but I could also record. So to do that, I would just click this button here, upload record, click record, and I can record my video here. So I'll do it real quick. This is just a test for the record feature in Canvas. Now, the tricky part is when I hit save, I have to be patient. And I have to wait until that video loads. So you can see it's spinning, give it a few seconds. Earlier, I was going in as the same test student, and I have just my voice, but here's an actual video. And then the second question, this is an example of it's called matching, but it's actually a drop-down menu. So this would be like an example for math, different angles. So less than 90 degrees, I would just pick the correct answer. And then this quiz just had 2 questions. So I have to hit submit quiz. If I do not click on that, it will not process. Now, as you can see here, my score is 5 out of 10. And the only reason for that is because this first one, this is something that my teacher will have to go in and listen to my answer. But Canvas was able to grade this question, this 5-point. But I just know that I need to hang tight, because once my teacher goes in and here's my great answer, and then about my connection to a main character, then they will give me my rest of my points. All right, I'm going to go in through modules so you can see where I'm at. So we've already done the page. We showed you that. We've gone into a quiz and we took that quiz. Now we're going to look at a discussion. So a discussion, what you have to make sure you do is hit reply. So if I want to reply to this question, so let's see, share a time in your life that you observed an object change speed or direction. So this must be like a science teacher trying to get at some, real world connection. So, a time in my life, maybe I was bowling and, or maybe it was something even, something rolling or different cars or different things. So the teacher's probably getting at the real world connection and some, ideas to bring up, but you could also reply to your classmates. So if I want to post my reply, I can do that here. If I wanted to reply to someone, I could do that here. I just have to make sure I do post reply. All right, so there's that reply button. All right, let's go back out to modules and see where we're at. We've gone over page, quiz, discussion. Okay, now for an assignment. For this assignment, I might actually have to show you the assignment outside of this view because my Google Drive isn't hooked up through this particular student. So I'm going to hang on. I'm going to wait for that. I do want to show you for an assignment. This would be, it's a Google Doc, and my teacher wants me to have a copy of the Google Doc. I need to fill in like this table and I need to submit it. Over here to the right, that is the submit button. So when I'm done, that's where I'm going to actually hit that button. I'll show you that in just a minute. This last one is a file. And when I click on it, it takes me right to a file my teacher's put on. I think this is like 11 pages. Yep. So I can just use this scroll down tool right here and I can see all the pages. All right. So that's modules. We'll come back to that assignment in a minute. I want to show you announcements. Maybe my teacher, let's see what they have here. Oh, about turning something in, a project that's due, quick announcement. And then the Zoom link. I don't actually have the Zoom open, but if I did, I would just hit join. And if my teacher was there and ready, then they would have me in the waiting room and they would accept me in. So just by clicking join. All right, now I am going to get out of student view because I actually want to show you this assignment. And now Canvas will recognize that it's me and my Google Drive and it will actually show. So there it is. Oh, so this wasn't a table. This one I actually put in was an article. All right, so that is some how-tos and a demonstration of different things that your child may be doing in Canvas. All right, so hopefully that was helpful going through a few. I just want to say the videos, no matter if they're in high school or they're in elementary, I think those are one of my favorite things, having them explain their answer, really listen, really hear them. And the waiting a few seconds for it to load, at first it was a challenge, because students are so used to things immediately on Snapchat and their social media, and this took a little bit of time, but once they did it to, the second try, they got it. So that's good. And when I was going through the screencast, I was talking about the quiz. I just wanted to mention that for a minute, because like I said, I am also a parent of 2 kids that are virtual learning. But we were talking today at our meeting, and a lot of us are parents, and how one of our members, their child was doing a math problem. They, had some trouble, and they were in a breakout room and the teacher wasn't there yet. And so that particular person was helping their child through that math problem. And then the teacher came in, and then she was like, oh, just waiting, like, okay, you know what, this is the time for the child to be working through that, productive struggle of trying to figure out the problem without that parent stepping in. But I think, it's hard sometimes as parents. So just a reminder that, we can help them navigate through things, but we want it to be, their work and, their ideas, their spelling. That's something my husband has a hard time with. I told him he can't look at Seesaw anymore because he keeps looking at my son's Seesaw is what they use. And, he's commenting on the spelling or worried that he got this multiplication problem wrong. And, I just keep explaining that's part of what happens in a classroom that we might typically not see all the time. But since we're now viewing everything, it's, a little different. But anyway, as I was making that, I was thinking about my own self as a parent. Okay, so I want to talk about notifications. Your email inbox could be quite full with notifications. If you like that, that's fine. But if you feel you need to change that, to do that, you're gonna go into Account, and then you'll see the top option, Notifications. And then you can choose if you want them to notify you right away, or maybe just a daily summary or weekly. And you can even, like if it's, files or an announcement or whatever it is, you can change that up. So that might be something that you want to change, and it's quick to find. Again, Account, and then Notifications is right there. All right, so here's that countdown I was telling you about. So I know I talked about like the help links, our own website. Maybe you have a tech ticket you want to put in. Maybe you want to grab that code right now, that pairing code, and find it. Maybe you wanted to check something real quick. Maybe you want to type in a question. And I'm going to start the timer because now's the time. And if you just want to take a quick, stretch break or check what your kids are doing, that's fine too. But I wanted to give you time right now to maybe do some of the things or try some of the things that have already been mentioned. So I'll see you back in 5 minutes, and I'll be reading through any questions. realize that music was going to be so fun. Wake us up a little bit. So I hope just 5 minutes even helped you maybe kind of collect your thoughts, or maybe check something out real quick, or write something down, possibly even go in and get that pairing code. It gave me a chance, and all of us as moderators, to kind of go in and see any other questions that have been coming in. I do want to address a few things, and then I'm going to keep going. And then at the very end, I'll check in with our wonderful moderators and see if there's anything you'd like to answer or anything else. One question that did come up was about the code, how a parent gets that code. And we're going to put this on our website so you can go back and view this. And I believe we are recording it also. But earlier in the presentation, I have some exact slides so you can see. Your child will log in, and then they'll go to settings, and then on the right it'll say like the observation code or pairing code, and it's going to be about 6 digits or so, and that's what you'll use. So that is earlier in the presentation. And then I know that there was something about you know, sometimes assignments and different things are like duplicated. There's 2 things. And, you know, that's something that I think as teachers kind of learn and grow, we can kind of help navigate that and figure out why that's happening. So, you know, I appreciate any kind of feedback. So we know, I know another great piece of feedback was about that navigation bar on the left. We didn't realize exactly what students were seeing. And so now that we do, last Wednesday, we had a screencast for the entire district that went over how important it is to communicate on your homepage, how to navigate, how to get a few things off that left side. So all that information is great. And as we go, we try and, you know, kind of support the teachers on what to do next. So just a little bit about the calendar. And, you know, the calendar, this is something that some teachers may choose to use. What happens is it goes to a due date. And there are so many wonderful assignments and tasks in Canvas that aren't a due date. So we don't want parents or students to only think, oh, this is only what I need to do. They need to really look at their class like as a whole and participate in all of the rich discussions and other things that might not be due. But we did want to show you the calendar view and what that would look like. And there are those icons that come up. So again, that's a discussion. This right here would be a quiz. No different things there. So for elementary students, they have specials. So this is a copy of a dashboard, and the specials have their own course. So your child should have, you know, for example, gym, art, music, they should have that card on their dashboard. When you click that card, that will take you to that particular specials information. So I took a screenshot. This is music. And so you can see on the left, she did a little welcome screencast, kind of like the one I had earlier, to kind of welcome her students and talk a little bit about what they're going to be doing. A little bit all about her, meet her and know more. Here are her Zoom links. And when you click on that Zoom quick link button, she takes you, the students, to like a calendar. So this is like a quick hot link to go to a Zoom on a certain time or day. And then this is like right here, over here is her asynchronous Wednesdays. So when your student has a particular special, if you don't know what that calendar is or what those days are, you're going to want to reach out to your classroom teacher and maybe even have it somewhere like on your bulletin board or at their desk so they kind of know. Typically they're at the same time, you know, each day. It's just different specials. So if there is, you know, anything with you can't find the Zoom or whatever that link is, you're going to want to email that specials teacher directly to kind of, you know, say, okay, where is it on that page? Can you show me? Because they also have office hours. And if your child doesn't quite know, you might just have to look at the page and kind of help them. All right, let's look into this Zoom. It doesn't tell you a time on the home page, but once we click that Zoom button, here we are, you know, Mrs. Benke's class or whatnot. Now we know what time it is. So that is a little bit more about specials. And then I wanted to put this in a little bit to share with parents a little bit about assessment. So as teachers, we do formative assessment and we do summative assessment. So this is my soup analogy, okay? So formative is like you're making your recipe along the way and it's a little too salty, so you have to change it, and you're getting feedback from your whole family because they won't eat it. And then you try a few different things and you add a few more vegetables, and you know, you kind of see how it goes, and then you maybe try it again and add something else. So formative is, you know, kind of like a continual check along the way. For, you know, just really to see like, where's that student at right now so I can take them to the next level. So examples of formative assessment, exit tickets, or maybe like a partner quiz, a self-assessment. So it might be something that the teacher's just kind of along the way checking in. That soup isn't finalized yet, but they're kind of checking in to see how good it is or how good it isn't. And so they can really see how they can help. So then a summative assessment, that would be more like the company's coming and the soup is ready and they're going to enjoy it and you're set. So there's no more testing. You're like ready to serve it. So it's looking more at like end of unit tests or semester or state assessments or, you know, a benchmark, that kind of thing. And so along the way, whether it's in Canvas, mostly in Canvas will have more formative type assessments that maybe, you know, the teacher is just checking in how they're doing. They're not expected to maybe have that mastery score yet. Power School is our main grading system. So that's where like our summative final grades will go. But the formative assessments you're going to see, and kind of like I mentioned before, like my husband being in Seesaw every day and checking it too much, is now that we can see a little bit more of what our children are doing, some of that could be formative. And we're just checking in to see how they're doing, and it's not expected to be mastery. So a few questions came up about that, and I just wanted to explain a little. Catherine, did you want to hop in and share anything else or any?
No, I mean,
hitters?
you said it wonderfully there, Amy. Yeah, just reiterating that, especially for secondary, parents of secondary students, you know, Power School is really where you're going to want to look to see an accurate reflection of their grades. And again, I just want to repeat this, that Canvas is the classroom. It is not the grade book. And so in Canvas, you're going to see very informal things and very formal things. And if you're concerned, you know, reach out to your teacher or ask your child, you know, and they'll be able to explain it to you about what, you know, what to prioritize and what might actually be missing that's high stakes and what might just be a quick informal check the teacher did that you don't need to worry too much about because the teacher is just trying to get that diagnostic information.
Great, thank you. And then in the question and answer, something came up about if you're waiting for like to get into a Zoom. Another quick story as a parent. So Tommy, he was waiting to get in a Zoom, and I was in 2 meetings on Wednesday. I work from home, you know, because we're cleaning this buildings. I'm in 2 different meetings. Tommy comes in crying, saying he can't get into a Zoom. And so I go, and sure enough, he can't get into a Zoom. And so he said, text my teacher. And I was this close to doing it. And then I thought, wait, what am I doing? No, I said, Tommy, if you were in school, there'd be a time you might have to wait. Like you need to grab a book, you need to draw, you need to do something, you know, but again, it was where I put myself in the parent perspective that I forgot like, okay, wait, no, we need to really problem solve. Your teacher's probably busy with a different group and you're finishing up an assignment, you got done early. How can you, you know, be productive and do something? But the question in the chat made me think of that, but it sounded that possibly you're waiting more than just like that 5 minutes. We're really, as you know, we took it very serious about any kind of trouble with Zoom and any, you know, buddy getting in that shouldn't. So we are letting students in, you know, in a waiting room and kind of taking attendance and making sure we're verifying. But if it's past that 5 minutes and for some reason they're not getting in, and it is their scheduled time, I would just reach out to the teacher. The question in the chat was about, you know, if they would be absent or tardy that day. And if you just explain, you know, my child was there in the waiting room, maybe on accident the teacher was sharing their screen and didn't see them come in or what it was. But I would handle it directly with the teacher. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my moderators. Is there anything that kind of came up that you would like to see if I could answer, or Jen, anything else you wanted to share before we end our session tonight?
You answered a lot of questions, and I know parents are going to continue to have questions about Canvas. I know, Amy, you had mentioned earlier before we started that we can we'll make this public on our website, but also are we thinking if there's some FAQs that we could even share? We could even post that as well if we come up with any
Yes.
questions that we may have missed as we were trying to read through. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
And
There was a question in the Q&A that I'd like to address real quick. Talking about the sync between PowerSchool and Canvas. We are working on that. That's going to happen probably, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. We wanted to make sure that all students were in the right spot in PowerSchool. They're in their right classes. The Canvas, everyone's settled into Canvas. Teachers know what they're looking at. Parents know what they're looking at. Students know what they're looking at. Before we made that switch, because we want to make sure everyone's comfortable with the Canvas platform first, and then we will begin to roll out that feature. So that should be coming in October.
there's another question about if a student is absent, some kind of like safe line. So we'll make sure that number or however that information needs to be communicated for attendance. We'll make sure that's on the frequently asked question answer form. And there was something else that came up about having students print different assignments. And so that's a great example where I appreciate that we have that on our radar, because that's something we'll work with teachers. How can we modify that assignment? We understand that not every child is going to have a printer, and gosh, I know my ink is never working and I can never seem to get it in there. But so we will definitely, just have to be thinking and be creative about some alternative ways. So anything like that, we'll work through. And, we just, on that note, want to thank you so much for all of your encouragement and your support. And, we're here. We had this vision of virtual school and we're living it, lots to celebrate, lots to definitely be thankful for. So thank you again for everybody tuning in. I know that you have busy nights, but I hope that this helped a little bit, and we can always meet again. And we look forward to any other feedback or any other ideas or questions you have for us. So with that, I think we're going to call it a night. So we'll make sure to copy the chat and have everything on the website as soon as we can. Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.